Hi, my name's Adam.
What? I'm trying to hashtag my Snapchat so I'm on fleek. And I'm Jason.
Welcome to What's Your Problem, where we discuss current issues in distance learning and education. Today we went straight to the source to bring you solutions to some of the problems on the minds of our students in What's Your Problem's first ever Student Edition.
During the last semester, What's Your Problem took to the halls of Schoolcraft to find out just what students thought of online courses. Would they be highly critical? Would they be over-the-top positive? Take a look for yourself.
What I like about online classes is you can do it at your own pace. So if you're busy during the week and you can't make it to campus on class, you can do it on the weekend.
Be very convenient to not have to come to class every day.
I like that you can work on your own pace.
So it would be convenient to have an online class so I wouldn't have to leave the house because I'm sick.
See? Students love everything about distance learning courses. But in all seriousness, within those positive remarks come some hard questions and concerns students have with taking a distance learning course. So Adam, Jason, what are these issues and how can we help students overcome them?
Thanks, Kaylynn. Our first topic comes from Alicia, a student here at Schoolcraft. She presents a problem particularly experienced by first-time online students.
I'm afraid that I will forget about the class or lose track of where we are in the class, but I'm taking one next semester, but I'm super nervous about it.
What reasons are you nervous?
That I'm afraid I'll forget about it because it's up to you to check on it and to make sure you're up with the class, and it's not like you're not going to it every single day. You have to check it on Blackboard or whatever, and it's different than going to class every day.
Thanks, Alicia. Most students have an immense amount of experience going to school. Most likely they have 13 or more years of experience before going to college. However, most of that experience is probably in a classroom with a teacher standing in front of them at the same time every day. Like Tom Hanks' character in the incomparable film Castaway, students can feel alone and abandoned, lost in the wilderness that is online classes. However, just as Hanks had his volleyball Wilson there to comfort him, there are things that instructors can do to help calm the first-time nerves of online students and reduce the feeling of cyberspace isolation. First of all, online students are looking for a connection from day one. First impressions are crucial, so taking the time to introduce yourself in a meaningful way can make a big difference. Also, encouraging peer-to-peer introduction helps students feel more a part of a community. Next, make it clear that you're there to guide the students through the process of learning electronically. According to a recent U.S. News article, the students who understand the benefits and pitfalls of learning electronically will not drop out. It all boils down to frequent and positive interaction.
While the importance of making students like Alicia feel welcome in the early days of an online course cannot be underestimated, Monica describes an issue that tends to set in a little later in the semester.
My online class and my OEOE class I took at the same time, and I was quite nervous for both. I thought it was going to be very convenient to not have to come to class every day. But my online class, I kept consistent with it because we had to turn in stuff every single week. So I actually passed that class, but my OEOE class, I kept on putting it off to last minute and could not pass the class because I had 0 of the assignments taken care of or done.
What Monica's describing is a rare condition among college students known as procrastination. And while there is no end-all cure for this affliction, there are a few things you can do as an instructor to alleviate the symptoms. According to psychologists, procrastinators exhibit avoidance behavior, which means that the bigger the task, the more likely they are to put it off. So perhaps the most effective way to help your students avoid procrastination is to provide them with specific and manageable tasks and assignments throughout the semester. For example, if there's a course project or paper, consider breaking it down into parts, and maybe even spreading those parts across several weeks or modules. This technique can also be used for smaller assessments. For instance, breaking a discussion prompt into an initial post, response to peers, and follow-up. Procrastinators are more likely to complete something if they can tackle it in pieces. Providing a clear schedule with due dates for each of these tasks will also help to keep them on track. In addition to clear, manageable tasks, procrastinators also need a lot of timely encouragement. Luckily, Blackboard provides several tools to help you do this. The Retention Center, Performance Dashboard, and Course Reports features are a great way to keep track of whether or not students are actually logging in and keeping up with the tasks you've laid out for them. Then you can quickly shoot them an email reminding them to get moving, or even better, praising them for the progress they've made so far and encouraging them to keep up the good work. Procrastinators strive on this type of positive feedback.
And finally, we caught up with another student, Teresa, who spoke to us briefly about another problem faced by some online students.
I just feel like I learn personally better from person-to-person contact, that contact between two people.
Thank you, Teresa. Like Alicia mentioned in this episode's opening topic, interaction, or lack thereof, is a major concern for online students. Many students like Teresa do not believe it's possible to offer the varied forms of interaction that they crave and experience in their face-to-face courses. While it's true that the interaction experiences between modalities does differ, the options for interaction in online courses are more diverse than many think. Of course, most online students are familiar with the discussion forum, which allows students to communicate on a topic and build a thread of conversation about it. However, online courses also have mechanisms for group and video interaction as well. Blackboard utilizes a tool called Collaborate that functions like Skype, allowing students to see, hear, and communicate in large lecture groups, all the way down to individual one-on-one virtual office hours with instructors. Instructors can also organize, manage, and deploy group assignments in online courses, allowing students to work together to complete projects and assignments just as they would in a face-to-face section. It turns out many of the interactive elements in face-to-face classes do exist in their own way online.
So as a quick recap, when it comes to online classes, interaction is one of the most important aspects for students. Instructors can help them overcome the cyberspace isolation as soon as the course begins by providing personal introductions and allowing students to do the same, letting students know there is a person on the other side of the computer. Frequent positive interactions through discussions or feedback encourages a sense of community among students and allows them to frequently communicate with one another. Procrastination is another factor when students decide to take an online course. Instructors can help curb this frustration by providing specific, manageable tasks for students to complete. These smaller chunks help students stay focused and make assignments seem less intimidating to complete. Also, keep in mind the Blackboard tools that are available to keep track of student work and participation. Finally, creating an educational space that provides diverse interactions is key for student engagement. Luckily, Blackboard provides these at our fingertips through not only discussion boards, but group work and Collaborate as well.
What's Your Problem wants to hear from you. If you have an idea you'd like us to discuss in a future episode, or if you just want to drop us a line, send us an email or follow us on Twitter.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
What's your problem? What's your problem? I don't get what your problem is.
Welcome to Schoolcraft. Welcome to college.